today. But I have two able men with me in the studio who is going to be doing justice to the topic of the day. And what is the topic? It's just about the recent attack on the terrorist enclave. That's what we're discussing this morning. And without wasting much time, I have in the studio a politician, and this man knows so much when it comes to the issue that has to do with Nigeria, Ogun State, and beyond. He is Chief Rotimi George Taylor. You're welcome, sir.
Good morning.
Okay, you know that if I want to go by the recent circular, I'm not supposed to call you chief on this show.
That's fine.
Okay. Yes, I have another person here. He's a security expert and he's not new to Ogtv. Each time we call on him, he will surely make it a date with us, and we appreciate that a lot. What am I talking about? He's Otuba Taiwo Akinbeyin. You're welcome to the show.
Thank you. Compliment of the season to everyone.
All right. Next time, I may not add the Otuba.
It's okay.
Maybe I'll add a Mr. So and so
It's
or
okay,
that.
so.
Good. All right. Welcome. That's just by the way. Let's just go straight to the issue. Now let me start from Chief Rotimi George Taylor, because you're a politician. I want you to talk about the angle of government. You know that the recent attacks on a village in the northern Nigeria, and particularly Niger State, left about 30 people dead. And we know that some says that the intervention by the U.S. government was okay, while so many people are still raising eyebrow. So now, let's talk about the action that follows from the government.
Well, I believe that before you can analyze any situation, you have to go down to the background of it.
Okay.
Before you can look at the insurgency, for whatever reason that they say it started, some say politically, some say that they came together, some say they've come from other countries. If you look at the growth, it has grown over the years. And we know from sociology that no behavior is learned, it is acquired. So we know that there must be something that is breeding this kind of radicalism. Is it poverty? Is it lack of education? So to nip the problem in the bud, is it the military that we need? Is it education? How many lawyers do we see that are insurgents? How many engineers do we see that are insurgents? How many accountants do we see that are insurgents? So it's as if the feeding pool are probably in the north. If you are looking at the north, the insurgents in the north are from the people that are downtrodden. Probably they are marginals that have not been cared for. And therefore, the solution to it starts from the foundation, I believe. The military aspect, I believe the other guests will probably talk about it, but I look at it sociologically, and I feel that if you want to handle this, education is one of the key factors to bring in, ensuring that the youths in the north go to school so that their attitude towards things changes. You find out that most people, when they see a man with a gun on the road, he's normally sometimes oppressive. And that behavior is learned. You go abroad, you find out that Nigerians don't drive the way they drive in Nigeria. They follow the rules. So you find out that behavior is normally learned. How are they learning this behavior? To be radicals, to attack people the way they attack them, and do things that you just can't comprehend. So it must come from some form of bad sociological growing up. That is my own opinion of it.
Okay, going by your opinion, are you saying that there is no school in the north? Because I know that there are schools in the north. So if there are a set of people that choose not to go to school, that shouldn't be the problem of the government.
Well, I know that in other countries, you have no option but to go to school. And if you don't go to school, your parents are even held responsible for you not going to school.
Okay.
I think there should be a threshold, a minimum threshold, that every child in Nigeria must have at least secondary school education. And with that, they can have a trade. If you have a trade and you have something to work with, you hardly see how many, we have quite a lot of northerners in the southwest, but they are not all begging. A lot of them, you see them with repairing shoes, selling sweets, doing various kind of things, trying to make money. So, but when you go to the north, you see them lining up on streets with plates, begging for money. What is the difference? They don't have any other trade on how to survive. So if they have other things on how to survive, how easy will it be to recruit them for crime?
All right, let me ask you this as a security expert. You know, recently we know that the attacks came up and many people are beginning to say a lot about it. Even government is taking some steps. So now, I want you to just tell us about the implications of the US airstrikes and Nigeria's sovereignty with security.
Thanks so much.
You're welcome.
We are talking about terrorist involvement in Nigeria now. We have three major reasons why United Nations or United States might have the interest, to come in.
Which are?
The first one, we have what we call global or regional stability or concern. When all over the world they start having the concern about the security in a place, what gets to 50 today is coming to 60 and it will get to 70. Then the attention, the concern will rise to the level of saying, what are we going to do? That is one. Two, protection of United Nations citizens. We have many of them in Nigeria here, doing well and legally resident. Three, we have humanitarian perspective. When we talk of dignity to life, this and that, but we start hearing that some people, let's forget, maybe they are killing Christian genocide or Muslim or whatsoever. But people are dying. Are these people going to keep quiet, keep silent over this? And so on and so forth. Now, internationally, we have international laws that govern issues like this, because there is difference between bandits and terrorists. Globally, they may not talk about bandits per se, because that looks international, it pertains within the country. But terrorism is something that we need to view seriously. United Nations Charter, Article 2, I think sub 4, states that no nation has the right to invade, to encroach into the sovereignty of any other nation, attacking them by force or whatsoever. But however, we have some exceptions.
Like? The
first exception is when the host country or the host state has the consent. And I think that is what applies here now. When the attack was launched in Sokoto, that's Tambua local government area in the forest. No, Americans have invaded. No, this is against the sovereignty of Nigeria. After some days, it started coming down. Why did it come down? Because the federal government heard the view that they supported, because it was a joint attack, it was a joint operation. They gave the intelligence that led to what happened. And once the consent has been registered, it has taken care of that Article 2 that I've just mentioned, that is one of those exceptions, which says if the consent of the host state or nation is registered. And another one is when the United Nations Charter, United Nations Security Council authorizes, that is authorization by United Nations Council, that proceeds to so place, go and launch attack. Come on, they go. And the third one is, you find that in Article 51, which talks about self-defense. If there's fire in my house, I'll return fire. Or if there is a fire in a neighbor's country and they call me that please help us, they are launching arms, they are attacking us with arms whatsoever, we have the right to respect them and to obey them, to honor them and respond. These are the basic 3 exemptions. But on the ceteris paribus, all things being equal, no nation has the authority to invade or to encroach into the sovereignty of another nation to launch attack. But if one of these occurs, I think it is lawful.
Okay, now, how effective can you say the U.S. airstrikes have been in disrupting terrorist activities in Nigeria? You think it's been effective?
The one that happened in Sokoto, I want to tell you sincerely speaking, if you know the plan of these Lakuawa, what do we call them, towards the end of last year, it will marvel you. They really planned to deal with Nigeria, especially northern part. But when this attack was launched in Sokoto area there, they were destabilized because it was precision. Precise into precision. They really met their target with little or no casualty. Because if we have casualties, people, the family members will have started talking by now. That, oh, we have collateral damage, or we have some people that have died. But nothing. So that has proved the precision I'm talking about. And intelligence continues on this issue. We were even hearing that possibly they will respond to certain things in the northeast. You know what happened? The attack was in northwest. Okay. Possibility of extending to northeast. They too will be holding their belts. That we don't know when these people are coming. You know, it's like a bird that has perched on a rope. The bird is restless. The rope is restless. But before, the bird was just perching on the rope, you know, comfortably, without any problem, without any fear. That is it. And situation whereby you have placed them on their toes like that, it is definitely reducing the propensity of, you know, attacking us more, because they know that bigger eyes are over them. So
you support that the U.S. government should just carry on? They should continue to do everything?
Anything that is lawful is allowed. If it is not lawful, then we say they should go away. But I've told you, there might be
implications now. But what of the future? You know, Nigeria is not the first that the U.S. government will say that they want to intervene, they want to help.
Let me say this. You know, there was a proposal to launch this attack before, and before they eventually did. So people were saying, it was because of EPOA, it was because of this and this. It was yes, they were saying it. These people knew that by the time the United States start this issue, they will not end up only on attacking the terrorists, they will go further to the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria.
But some innocent people were affected.
I've said it, the one in Sokoto, even the Sokoto state government, till tomorrow maybe you have any contrary information. They said no injury, no casualty.
That's what we heard, but we heard that about 30 people lost their lives.
In Sokoto attack?
Not just Sokoto.
That one is Niger.
Generally, yeah.
That one is Niger. And
but it's still the same. If no life was lost in Sokoto and it was lost in Niger,
was it the same? Was it the aftermath of the attack that happened in Sokoto that people died in Niger?
I think it's the terrorist attack in Niger.
Terrorists themselves went to Niger
to attack people there.
To attack the civilians.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
It is not the Americans that killed people.
So, you know that very soon they will move out of Sokoto when they say that, okay, this place is set to conquer the air. They move to another place.
You see, let me say something again.
But I don't want to agree that no innocent
Sokoto attack
was lost. Yes.
When we are talking of precision, GPS guided operation. You look in those days. We have some certain ailments. If the doctors will treat you, they will say, okay, we need to dissect you. But nowadays, something like laser treatment whatsoever, they will just tiny needle like this, they will set it. It will go there directly to where they want to attack, and they will bring it out. Something like this. You see, technological advancement is coming in. The only problem, or the major problem we think we have, is the infiltration of these people into the realms of affairs.
Okay.
Situation whereby we'll be planning that, okay, oh, it's like this people are coming to Niger, and somebody will go and give information, you know, to divulge. That is the major problem we are having. Then the one that happened in Niger, I'm still thinking why the intelligence failed us. Or another point is this: if the point of possible attack is too close to residents where people stay, and they notice that there will be much collateral damage or injury to civilians, they may not want to attack such a place. And I'm just believing perhaps that was what happened. They have to study that place to be sure that if they bombard that place, the extent of collateral damage or injury to civilians around will not be much before they will do that. So I think that was why they did not attack that very place before the terrorists went there.
Okay. All right. As a politician, sir.
Yes.
You know, there are some critics, and they are arguing that the airstrikes may have had limited impacts on the terrorists and could potentially trigger unintended consequences. So do you see these people coming up again to say they want to maybe retaliate or something?
I think that is, now we're now coming into another section of the problem, which is utterances, religious, political. You have the religious leaders. What type of things do they say to these youths that incites them? When you incite people and they feel that that is a solution for them to get to heaven, then otherwise why would a man tie a bomb to himself and blow himself up? Obviously he must believe that he would derive a benefit from such an action. So the aspect of inciting is the first thing I believe we should discourage in whatever form, be it Christian, be it Muslims. People that incite people, I think they should be found guilty and stopped immediately. I also think that politicians that encourage and say that, okay, people will go and fight other people, they are better off putting their energy into thinking of solutions on how to rehabilitate before people go into crime. Looking at processes whereby they would have preachings that preaches the peace of Islam. There's so many Muslims that preach that Islam is not a violent religion. So you find out that these are parts, this will solve more problems than even the fighting. Because my own view is that, what are the solutions? If you kill them today, can they not recruit another group? So you need to stop the field of the recruiting in order to achieve a permanent solution. And then from the government today, the state governments get a lot more money. Why has the standard of living of most of these Almajiris not improved? Why
I think maybe the representatives need to be clear.
Are some of the northern governors complicit in this problem? Because they could easily have set up more schools, provide them maybe with lunch. Yes, because
the federal government is doing something like that.
Yes, so that at least they can, once I believe education and they feel much better, it will be very difficult to call somebody to go into crime.
We're talking about, I don't want to believe that maybe the Almajiris are the terrorists here.
I didn't say they are the terrorists. What I'm saying is that a recruiting, okay, how many lawyers have you seen that they arrest and say this is a terrorist?
I'm just saying that maybe these people are not from Nigeria. Because talking about ISWAP, I want to believe that they are not from here, because they're not just here, they're in other countries that we've heard about.
Can you go to the to Uganda today and launch an attack without the people of Uganda? So you must first of all have the knowledge of the place. The people that have the complete knowledge of Nigeria and the forestry are probably the headsmen that go around. And now they are talking about, they've been talking about it, that ranching. They have been resisting it, that they don't want ranching. But once they see the benefits, why don't you try one fully? Let them see the benefit that doctors are there to treat their cows.
Most people want to try. They don't want to try the ranching. They prefer the way they've been rearing their cows.
You find out that you cannot try something when you don't know the benefits. It's difficult because there's too much rumor going around. Okay. You will not even be able to steal their cows if it is under ranching. The rustling will be out of the way. They will treat them. The milk production will be more. They will make more money. And once they see that they are making more money, other people will want to go into that field. But when you see people displaying so much cash on TV from banditry and terrorism, why would that not encourage somebody that has no means of livelihood? Why would he not want to be recruited? I believe that this solution, so that it does not become a solution that keeps expanding and expanding, and they have reason, remove the reason. And then you can now say, okay, the few that do not want to comply or see reason, and then you can take decisions with those ones.
Okay, I want to believe that there are representatives from that side. They have a lot of them. Apart from governors, they have senators, they have House of Reps and the rest. Why are they not seeing to this problem that they have in their region?
Well, that is also political. When Awolowo came in and brought education to the Southwest, a lot of people see it from two angles. He has done so well for the Southwest in terms of their educated. The Southwest has become the major place where you have banking and things like that. But in the North, they have used their own also to their own advantage. A lot of people don't challenge the people that are doing very well. They go there to their houses, and whatever they give them in terms of food, gifts, they come back another time, rankadedesa. So, but if they have education and they are able to garner a lot for themselves, if you come to Lagos, you hardly see anybody that most of the foreigners, most of the northerners go to go and say rankadede. They are trading. They have small shops.
Lagos
they just
busy.
Yes, they go to the mosque and come back. They are doing well on their own, which means that the society itself constrains people to a certain type of life. And if that is not removed, you kill the false set, then there's a pool to recruit from. I feel that we should nip the thing in the bud, like the president will set a standard and insist that a certain percentage of the new allocation that is going to the states and to the local governments must be used in the north to cater for this set of Nigerians that are suffering, and bring them, revive them, educate them, treat them, provide medicals for them. Because when you see them, if you have children, you will actually feel sorry for them. And that is the way I feel about it.
Okay. All right. As a security expert, now he's been talking about the root cause of this problem, you know. And what do you think the measures that being put in place by the Nigerian government to address the root causes of terrorism and insurgency in the country as a security expert? Because I know that you've heard and you've been to so many places where these things happen. So you want to agree with what he's been saying?
Sincerely speaking, I appreciate Chief Taylor, but I have a little divergent point here.
Okay.
We need to spell out the differences between banditry and terrorism.
Are they different?
Seriously.
Okay, let's know.
All he has been talking about have to do with banditry.
Banditry, okay.
Whereby we have the definition of certain crimes in the criminal code in Nigeria, whereby it is stated there that if you commit this, like kidnapping, if you are caught, this is the punishment, armed robbery, this is the punishment, unlawful possession of firearms, this is the, all these are rustling, all these are there.
Okay.
But we are talking about terrorism. And this time around, we have sponsors. The sponsors are the people that have the motive. They are only using these guys to perpetrate, to carry out, so that they will achieve what they say as their motive. What are the motives in terrorism? Political, ideological, or religious. Any of these three can be. So it depends. You'll be hearing some people they have been pointing at some people that possibly these are the sponsors of terrorism in Nigeria. They know what their problem is all about. They know what they want, and that is why they have recruited these people. And mentioning Alumajere people, you see, when you say maybe the measures to tackle the cause, I may use Panadol to go and treat typhoid fever, which will not work. This point now is, we are talking about terrorism. It's a matter of uprooting the sponsors. When you uproot the sponsors, then the terrorists will be starved.
Okay.
They won't have the effort. Now, some of them are even begging for food around now in the north. They don't have the usual, what do we call it, comfort they had before. Because they have been dislodged. And their sponsors are afraid, are running up and down, because they are monitoring the sponsors through fund transfer, through any other support. So those support, we are in a very right course now to deal with terrorism in Nigeria. Because it's no more a business as before to the sponsors.
Okay, talking about sponsors now, there is this one figure that everybody knows and used to say that, okay, maybe is one of the sponsors or even he negotiates, help the country negotiate with. I'm talking about Sheikh Ahmad Gumi. And you know, recently he's been claiming that after his life that he received calls from top officials that the US military will soon picked up on him and also kill him and the rest like that. Is that rumor? Is it right or wrong?
See, Mr. Trump himself cannot divulge whatever he has to do on this issue.
Okay.
Talk less of me here. I cannot divulge, but the issue is certain. There's always a logical conclusion to every operation.
But when you say sponsors,
yes.
You know, there is something that I used to think about. Okay, when we know these sponsors, why don't we just go for these sponsors and just maybe arrest them, prosecute them, or do something so that the country will just be peace? You know,
in law, there's something they call nemo judeis in cas as well.
Okay.
Then, how do you alter and pattern? A suspect is deemed to be innocent of an allegation against until when the contrary is proved.
Okay, so why is Gumi now saying that after his life and the rest?
You see, Gumi is becoming restless now. I was told recently that all what he posted on his Twitter handles, on this he had got to delete all of them. So, you know, before, he was standing, telling the federal government that no, you have to even put them on the payroll. We were even thinking that he would come and debunk it the next day. He didn't debunk. And mind you, anything that is posted and not debunked is believed to have been spoken by the person they said spoke it then. So saying that they should even put them on payroll is another issue now. At what level? Which means they are the people that know the motive. Why they have gone to employ these people from Chad, from Sahel, from Niger, from these people are not small boys. Then thinking about maybe they don't look to manufacture bomb. You are learned. We have good engineers among them. We have yes.
Like Chief Taylor is saying that how many lawyers, how many people that were saying that. So we have educated
structural engineers, electrical engineers. They are there. Mind you, these people don't dress gorgeously the way they will dress.
They don't even care about
so don't just think because you see them like this, it means they are not learned. Even among our system, I was told recently, reliably, that these terrorists have infiltrated into many sectors of life, including judiciary, including this and that. Now maybe a case that has to do with terrorism will just get to a certain place, instead of that case to be treated.
So why do you think they've been able to penetrate us so much and our government will still claim innocence? Because I don't want to believe
there are some issues I think I cannot respond to here. Yes, but the issue is this.
Okay.
This is where we have found ourselves, and the truth is coming out. People have started mentioning the sponsors. We have not completed the lists. We have the long list, and I'm so sure they will not be spared.
Okay, so we can say that very soon Nigeria will breathe of fresh air. We're going to breathe.
Already now, some of the sanctions have commenced, freezing on some accounts. Many of these guys cannot cry out. They have started begging for money from their wives, from their children.
You mean the
sponsors?
Sponsors?
Yes.
Why?
They have frozen their account. It's one of the sanctions now.
Okay.
Travel ban, visa restriction. Recently, the same woman we talked about was, I think, Dubai or Emirates.
So why are we taking these steps now? Why are we not taking the steps long time ago when we know these people?
It's because they have not. It's because they have not achieved their.
Can we say that maybe Nigerian governments are not bold enough until the U.S. Intervention? Because I want to believe that the US did not come here to come and pick these people for us.
These sponsors,
we know them.
These sponsors are within the circle.
Nation.
And
what do you mean by the circle?
You asked me about the government.
Oh, okay.
Now, some of them are there, and you know when we are talking about decision making, it moves from one table to the other table from there. Somebody was asking me a question. He said Nigeria is democratic. When United States wanted to launch attack in Sokoto, they should have made it accountable. They should have called some members, the civilians, to let them. I said no. Once beaten, twice yes. It happened in Maiduguri. When they wanted to launch attack there, some of the people they trusted divulged the information, and the operation failed. So this time around too, it is not out of point if they look away and do what they want to do, provided Baba, the president up there, and other arms have allowed that let them come in. That's all.
I want to believe that if they're not allowed, they won't come.
If they have come, they have encroached. They have invaded. They have encroached now. That is unlawful.
You said something in the beginning that they can come if the government is in the know.
I mentioned that by virtue of United Nations Charter. And I started from Article 2. Yes. I mentioned Article 42. Okay. I mentioned Article 51. Okay. These are the places. Okay. And if the consent of the whole state, host, community, host nation is registered.
Then that's what
and it has happened. So it is authorized.
So then what I want to bring out is that we cannot say that our president is not on the know. Because
if he's not in the know, by now the matter will have been in Netherlands, International Court of whatever. Yes, it will have been a serious issue that they have encroached into the sovereignty of Nigeria. But they said it openly that they even used our own intelligence that we provided for them to operate. And it was not debunked.
Okay. So, Chief Rotimi Judge, do you believe that, okay, these people, they are in the government?
I think radicalism should be removed, like I said. It's not, radicalism comes also with probably the level of awareness of the person. If you have grown up radicalized to believe that you are supposed to eliminate Christians, then you will grow up with that.
I think this is beyond religion now.
Yes. If you go to Saudi Arabia, where you have mostly Muslims, they are changing. Go to Qatar, they are changing. The world is changing. And this change, I think we need to inform people more of that change while we take those kind of steps that they are talking about, like the physical step of removing those that have been radicalized. But we need to stop more people from falling into that net so that we reduce the problem and cure the source where they can recruit from. Outside of that, we need to constantly monitor our military file and rank. Not the officers probably, maybe some of them, to continue to de-radicalize them. Because you find out that even in the army, you hear of sabotage, you hear of this, you hear of that. So there's a need for maybe people to go and talk to some of the soldiers, explain to them, Islamic scholars that will tell them that Islam is a religion of peace. This kind of behavior does not achieve what you think it will achieve. Then that's what they start to have a mixed feeling of what is happening. They can now go and read and cross-check on their own to find out what is Islam saying about this thing. But if you feel that, look, I'm going straight to heaven and I'm going to get 72 virgins, then some people will look at it that, look, what am I doing here? So how do you stop such a person from radicalization? So the aspect of stopping the funds from getting to the sponsors is another very good move, because if the money does not flow, then there won't be money for terrorism. If you destroy depots where they keep arms and things like that, then there will be no arms to use. And then the people, when you talk about politics, that are in government or that are within Nigeria that you see have a soft spot for terrorism, there's a need to make sure they are not in positions that would have any influence or take any decisions concerning terrorism.
Okay. All right, I want to give my people at home the opportunity to call in. So you can call. The number is displayed on the screen already. So call in. Feel free to comment, to make your own submission, and to also ask questions from my guest this morning. All right, now, talking about radicalization, what do you think the nation could do to counter the extremist ideologies or to prevent radicalization in our communities?
I believe that we can easily achieve that by appealing to His Eminence the Sultan of Sokoto, who holds a very key position in the Islamic world in Nigeria, to assist the nation by helping to talk to some of the clerics on the need to talk and explain to the clerics that issues that saying things that would create chaos in the country, they should avoid it. Just like Christians too, they should not say things that would create chaos in the country, because if we have peace, it will be better. It's affecting the whole economy. It's affecting farmers, it's affecting food supply, it's affecting Nigerians. You want to travel from one place to the other, you are afraid of kidnapping, and then you even find out the National Assembly, they are even afraid. That's why they don't want their policemen to go, because they said they are afraid to go for the holidays. So you find out that this problem is so much. There was a time they said even they might attack the National Assembly. How far is true, I don't know, but I think I read that in one of the dailies. And you find out that how ridiculous could that be, that you will get to a situation where the National Assembly would be, even the thought would come up, except if people have decided on a suicide mission. And what would make people decide on a suicide mission? What will make them do that? What will make a man tie a bomb to himself?
Okay, are there any specific policy or changes or legislative actions that you believe are necessary to prevent future attacks and support affected communities?
I believe there should be legislation on incitement, like religious incitement. It should not be tolerated at all. I believe that there should be legislation on minimum level of education. And just like the Supreme Court is pushing for the local governments to have their own funds, the Nigerian child should have a minimum level of education. Apart from that, it's going to translate into so many other benefits for Nigeria. Because the production and what we will get from it, if everybody has a skill or has knowledge, apart from just standing on a line and begging for food or begging for something, you find out that it's going to really, really improve the country and add so much. Create less people that will be interested in crime. And if you call somebody now, oh, okay, I'm coming from Niger, I want to come to Nigeria and do evil, the man can decide to report you. They invite people, they might decide to report them. So I don't think terrorism works on its own. It works in a network, and that network is not foolproof. And also, we need to find out who are the people that support these people when they are arrested. Because you hear stories of people being arrested, they want to try them in the state they were arrested. No, they want them to come to Abuja because they have some form of godfathers. Those kind of cases should be reinvestigated. You understand what I'm saying? Reinvestigated. If there's no punishment for an action, then what is the deterrence? So these are the areas that I think we should look into and possibly get help on. If the United States can help us with the education of the people, you know, that would be great. Help with information on radicalization, that would also be very great. You understand what I'm saying? So this way, help us with drones. We can even arrest them. You understand what I'm saying? So we find out that we can curb a lot of this. How do people travel for miles on motorcycles? It's not one, it's not two, about 30, 40, 100 people. And then you tell me that ordinarily going from Lagos to Ibadan, how many checkpoints do you see? Talk less of people that are looking. How do they get to that point without the security agents being able to provide any form of cover?
That's an allegation. Do you want to respond to that? That the security are not doing much?
I have said it before, that these people have infiltrated, you know, they have gone into everywhere.
Okay, now let's talk about the response of the terrorist groups to the US attacks. Do you think the response could be maybe positive for us and negative for them at the end of the day?
Where the matter is now, it is not what they respond to or the way they respond that matters.
Okay.
They are coerced now to drop this idea because...
Or even leave our country.
That is it. This is no more a time when we'll be preaching to them. The time we have preached to them has gone.
Enough.
Yes.
We have indulged them enough.
We are here where we heard about Malami, #1 judiciary officer in Nigeria, sorry to say. Who was the Attorney General? Minister of the Justice. Abi? There's what we call nole prosecu in law. Authority of the judge to say, okay, we are discontinuing. Attorney General to say, okay, discontinue with the prosecution of this case. So if the judiciary, one of them belongs to them, he can always say, okay, stop the prosecution of this case. What will happen? So where the matter is now, is like we're laughing, we're
Okay, but just to wrap it up now, do you think that our case won't be like that of Ukraine?
Ukraine?
Yes. You think the US will not take over later?
Do you know that it is not even US that has interest in this matter now?
Okay.
Israel is coming up.
Israel is also coming up.
Oh, come on.
And you think we should sleep with our two eyes closed?
So far they follow what the charter say. They follow the law.
And you want to trust them that they will follow the charter?
How they follow? They follow. Once you do things the way you are supposed to do it, there will be no problem.
Okay, I'm being signaled so that we just have to go. I don't know that it's even 1 hour already. It said, okay, about 15 minutes or thereabouts that we use on the show. All right, thank you, everyone. I want to say thank you to Chibroti Taylor. Yes. Thank you for coming to the show. And also to our security expert here, Otubatai Wakingbe. Thank you for coming. So much, and to all of you that has watched this edition of Roundtable today, I say thank you. And either you call or you did not call, I appreciate you all. Let's do this again next week, Tuesday. Hopefully, my colleague will be here as well. I wish you a quick recovery, Maureen Kids. I miss you on the show today. Doyisola Ogubadewa is my name. Have a great week ahead. Bye.